Carrie, part of me is tired of this election fraud stuff, but it's kind of the thing that we need to talk about because it is still
Yes.
in the news. It's going on. It does matter. And, as much as I would say it's, I don't want to say this. Just because there was no election, if there were no election fraud, it doesn't guarantee that we would get the choice you want, because democracy does in fact suck. However, there does appear to be evidence, despite the mainstream narrative of without evidence, which I think is the catchphrase they're using now. So-and-so mentioned voting fraud without evidence. Okay. Without the evidence, because they don't look at evidence.
Well,
so
people have pointed out that they're disregarding sworn testimony of poll workers and saying that's not evidence. Well, actually, yeah, it is sworn testimony. They gave sworn testimony. That's considered evidence. In court.
It's definition by definition. It's evidence.
It's evidence. So, is it proof? No, but it's evidence. You have to look at it, and they're trying to write it off completely. YouTube is not YouTube. Twitter is over the top lately with their little warnings about anything you post. Their little warning about no, trust us, guys. The election was super on the up and up. Don't read this tweet.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what I was thinking before we even talk about some the details of anything, just at a high level. You know how we say, we didn't invent this. Vox Dei is the first person I heard this from, but SJWs always lie, right?
Yeah.
And SJWs always project. Those are the things. I hear now all these calls for unity, and I think, you mean division. Whenever you hear them saying, we want unity, what you should be hearing in your head is, we intend to create disunity. We intend to be divisive, because that's what they actually intend to do. You saw this. Yeah. I know you've seen this, but did you? I know you've been paying attention to stuff generally. Did you see this tweet? Was it a tweet? It was. Let's see. Let me see if I can find it. It is. Oh wait, my window ended up way over on the edge of my screen. No wonder I can't see it. Okay. Did you see the CNN? I think Chris Stigall, if that's how you say his name. He tweeted this. Look at this. Look at this thing from CNN. They've started their list. Here's their blacklist. GOP senators who haven't congratulated Biden.
Oh, I did see that.
They're starting a list, right? And we know, and this is just one example. This is just CNN tracking senators, but they are making lists, and they'll be checking them twice. This season, they'll be making their lists and checking them twice, but not like Santa Claus does. Not in a good way.
No.
Yeah.
And look at these voices who are calling for unity. It reads as a little inauthentic when you're the same voices that have been calling people who don't vote the way you want them to, racists, deplorables, Nazis, spreading lies about them. And then you're saying, now come together and join in unity with it. It's disingenuous. If it were coming from voices who had not done that, it's one thing. But to be coming from, it's like your abusive spouse beating you and then begging you for unity. It's dishonest.
It's exactly that. And you don't even have to. You could actually have a goldfish memory and not know anything they were doing in the past and still see that it's dishonest, because out of one side of their mouth, they're like, unity, unity. And the other side, they're like, here's our blacklist. It's like, that's not unity, guys. That's a blacklist. That is divisive. That's what that is. So, I want to remind people that don't fall prey to this idea that they want to reconcile in any nice way. They don't want to hold hands and come together and sing Kumbaya. That is not their intention. They're not going to welcome you with open arms. They don't want to unify the country. They don't want to heal. That's not what they want. They've never wanted that. Democrats have been taken over by the radical left wing, who's basically been trying to burn this country down forever. So they're in control now. They don't want that. They're making blacklists. They're going to remember who you are. They will dox you. And by the way, if you dox them, you'll get banned. We'll talk about that later. But they'll dox you. That's fine. So this is not, this is not about unity. They never mean it to be about unity. And the more loudly they scream, here's the other thing I want to say, just because I was kind of careful about voting fraud stuff, and I've said, look, my gut is yes, there's voting fraud, but I don't want to say, because I'm trying to be, this is my gut's not an argument, blah blah blah.
Right.
However, I do want to say this: the more loudly they scream that you shouldn't bother to investigate any fraud, the more you should worry and investigate fraud. They are like, if there was no fraud, Facebook and Twitter would not have to put little warnings saying the elections are fine. Don't worry about the elections. The elections are fine. All experts say elections are fine. Experts. Like, they're freaking out that you might, I don't know, read the lawsuit filed against the city of Detroit, or look at some of the evidence that Robert Epstein has produced. Like, they don't want you to see this stuff. So and they don't want to argue it. They can't argue it directly. So they have to just say, experts have concluded that the elections are always fine and great because we won.
Yeah.
Of course, in 2016, the elections were, I don't know.
Just trust us. I forget who it was that somebody tweeted a very astute point. They said the same people who believed Jussie Smollett, whatever, Smollett.
You could say
the same
Smollett.
people that
like
believed
Smollett.
Yeah, Jussie Smollett are telling us, just trust us. There's no fraud. Trust us, guys. Why?
Right.
Why?